Hello, it's my second video for Mr. Repzion. I wanted to add a few more things that I didn't add in my last video. When it comes to gaming, Mr. Repzion, there are a few games that I refuse to play based on the fact that they aren't really Christian and they have uh, a religious viewpoint to them that I don't currently like. Diablo is one game. Same with Dante's Inferno is another game. Devil May Cry is another one. There are several that have religious viewpoints that I don't particularly agree with. As far as Dante's Inferno goes, it's the worst game I've ever seen when it comes to depicting hell. It's extremely bloody, gory, graphic, and I tend to stick to the more uh, Call of Duty version of games. Not a whole lot of blood. Final Fantasy is great for not showing any blood, but it has a lot of magic, which is a problem for a lot of Christians. But Mr. Epstein, what I wanted to state to you is that when it comes to Christianity, like I said in my last video, atheism in its pure definition is the belief that there is no God. You're saying that there's just not enough scientific proof for God to exist. If you've ever walked outside and you've seen a slug that's about like that big and it's leopard colored, it's quite an amazing sight to see. Um, a humongous black widow, a Venus flytrap. There's a lot of things in this world that can show you that God does exist. The intricacy of a spider's web is another one. When God created the heavens and the earth, he did a really good job. However, you state that there's no scientific proof for the existence of God, and that the Bible has a lot of stories, but it's not accurate when it comes to uh, telling the truth about what happened. What I'd pretty much like to say, going back to the atheism thing, atheism, the belief that there is no God. What you are, Mr. Repzion, I'm sorry to say, because I'm going to get flack for this, is you are an agnostic. Agnostic, which is looking for something to worship, but hasn't quite found it. That is you. Uh, an atheism, or an atheist, has to worship something. I'm sorry to say, Mr. Epstein, but it's true. Every human has this urge to worship something, whether it be money, power, fame, glory. Um, I choose to worship God personally, but atheism is not a religion. It's not the belief that there is no God, which was explained by oh crap, I'm losing this, by Friedrich Nietzsche, the Superman. Um, he was credited for influencing Hitler for World War II. Uh, Pretty much the whole atheistic viewpoint, saying that there is no God, is a complete falsity. And so the atheists have stepped back and said, well, we just believe that there is no scientific proof that there is a God. Uh, you know, like I said before, you blame the fact that you were mistreated in your church as a means to let go of your faith, to step back from it, to reject it. And what I'm telling you is I've been through a lot. I've been homeless. My first marriage didn't end well. Um, been falsely accused of a crime. um, due to the victims. But it was my stepson, actually, and his father just called the police, falsified a police report. At least that's what we believe. And so uh, I was charged with assault with a gross misdemeanor. And in some of my other videos, I'll explain why I don't believe or trust in our legal system today. Um, and I will also state that, yes, this all happened in Spokane, Washington. I'm not scared to say what town I live in or that it was the public safety building here in Spokane, Washington. Um, but has my faith been shattered? No, my faith hasn't been shattered. I don't believe in just not believing in God or hating God just because something bad happens. Um, I'm recording on a laptop right now from Rent a Center, and it's because I paid something off and I got $100 certificate, which allows me to have this free for a month. Um, this is why. This is why I'm using it, and I want to use it for good. Um, so a lot of things have happened to me, and I still do believe that God has a plan for it. Um, yeah, I used to. Yeah, here's a good example. I used to enjoy summer a lot. Summer, the warm weather, just walking around feeling the sun on your back. Uh, However, and I know I'll get flack for this, but there are a lot of young girls and a lot of young women that won't dress very appropriately for being out in public. It's what I believe because I'm a Christian, and I believe that women should dress more appropriately, especially during the summertime. Yeah, so I implore you, Mr. Repzion, if you really want to hear about your uh, religion, um, I would suggest listening to Ravi Zacharias, a really good Christian apologist who has not only studied all of this, but can also tell you a lot about atheism and why it's false, um, and why atheists would like to come after us, and yeah, attack us for what we believe, like an abortion. I don't believe in abortion. I believe that killing babies is a crime. It's murder, and so I'm pro-life. Definitely pro-life. I can't stand the thought of abortion. It kind of makes me sick. Um, but as far as games go, I believe you're right. In that the game genre showing women as damsels of distress makes for good games. It really does. Several times in Final Fantasy X, you're rescuing Yuna from situations she's gotten in because, God forbid, she should call an Aeon. but, um, but that's pretty much what I have to say. I am, happily married. Two wonderful kitties. I have a lot to be thankful for. As I'm sure you, Mr. Repzion, have a lot more to be thankful for. Um, since I'm right now having a lot of trouble finding work, I know God has a decent plan for that. Um, so, uh, I implore you, Mr. Repzion, please respond to my video. I would love to hear what you have to say on what I've said. So please respond. It would kind of be an honor to be debating with an atheist on something like this. I also believe I found the right person to also do this with. Um, sorry. So uh, please respond. I'm gonna be out later, but feel free to respond at any time that you want. I will be around, and I will continuously check my check these YouTube videos. And I'll probably see my picture next to yours, and you responding to what I have to say. But I, you know, I'm gonna end this video. So have a good day, and hopefully I will hear a response from you sometime soon. Thanks.